Hello, folks, and welcome to this taste challenge. This is going to count for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I got stuff to do, and it's not going to allow me to do taste challenges. I mean, technically, I could, but I'm not going to. All right, so this is Thursday, but it's going to count for Friday. All right, so here is Johnnie Walker Gold Label Reserve. Yeah, it's a tiny bottle, but I got a deal on this. And the price per bottle made it a lot less expensive. Usually, these little bottles are much more expensive per ounce, but for whatever reason, that local store had it for such a low price that I bought about 15 bottles, which adds up to a full size bottle. But the price I paid was about $10 less than you'd get it, which I was very pleased about because I was planning to buy this one day anyway, the regular bottle, but now I was able to buy that just in a different format. So this was introduced in 2012. It is a non-age statement whiskey. It replaced an older one that was gold label age stated. Like, and they do have some age stated whiskeys. This is not one of them. And it is Johnnie Walker is produced under a royal warrant. That means it's an official whiskey of the royal. There's the royal warrant on the cap. An official whiskey of the British royal family of Scotland, Northern Ireland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the Cook Islands, etc. All right, anyway, you go over there. Now, here's this Regal. They also received a royal warrant years ago. I don't know if they currently have it. They just talked about it on their website. We had a royal warrant in the 1800s. Now, what happens is those expire after, I think, 5 years, and then you have to reapply, and then they have to go through the protocol of testing the whiskey. Or it could be bread, the royal bread. Like, it's any kind of product. And I think it expired and they just didn't bother reapplying. That's my impression because it doesn't say anywhere on here it's a royal whiskey. All right, anyway, it's embossed bottle design, nice, pretty bottle. They've updated the bottles recently. They're more slender instead of squat. But this is the 13-year Chivas Regal Extra, as they call it now. Extra age, 13 years as opposed to the normal 12. And this is the American Rye Cask Selection. A portion of this whiskey is taken out after 13 years and aged in rye barrels, rye casks from America, and then put back into the blend and then bottled. And this is a commemorative 2019 Manchester United edition, limited edition. They put this out for 1 year and only in the United States, which is strange. It says special edition Manchester United. It's like, why would you put it out in the US? Because there's not much interest in soccer over here. But seemed like you'd put it out in England. But whatever the case, I don't know if the bottles really sold too well because I found this a few months ago at Savannah Discount, a famous Louisiana liquor store. It's actually technically a convenience store that just happens to sell liquor, which makes up about 99% of their sales. And they had this for $9.99. And that's the truth, $9.99. This one here was what, $2.49 per bottle, which adds up to less than $40 for a full size. So if you look this up on Total Wine, it's like a $50-something bottle. So it's an incredible discount. And I know why they did that, because what that store did was they bought a bunch of these packs, special edition boxes, which had the regular bottle and then these little ones in there. And what they did was they just opened up the packs, sold the bottles on the shelf, and these little ones they sold by themselves. So they still do that now. The price has gone up, but now they're selling these probably pure profit because they're just buying the pack. These are thrown in. So yeah, I took advantage of it. Total on and more. Let's see. Here we go. Whoa. They're selling these little bottles $7.50 each, and I got it for $2.99. Now a regular bottle, regular full size bottle, $67.99. Oh, I thought it was $55. $67.99. So I got the greatest deal in the world. I'll show you on the. We'll do a screen share real quick. So they're talking about, and they focus on the descriptor of honey, heather honey, wood. Honey wrapped in velvet. I don't think I'd want to eat velvet, which is a type of cloth. Sweet cream, lightly kissed by vanilla spice. Yeah, it's really not that fancy, but they say so. All right, so that's the Gold Label Reserve. $68 a bottle, nearly $68 a bottle. Oh no, I don't know if I'd have ever gotten to it. Chivas Extra 13, about $40. So it's $27 cheaper. Probably getting a penny worth though. And you can get on their website and read about it. They go into a lot of detail. That's the regular, the bottle's like that. Okay. That's the new slender bottle. And as opposed to the fatter bottle, and also the new bottle design. Because like I said, mine is a commemorative sports team edition. This is the regular one that, if you get, that's not commemorative. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I forgot the glasses. Hold on. Sorry about this. Make sure I check my labels. Okay. This is the competitor. Oh, and I thought I had gotten about 5 or 6 right. It's 10 right. I've done 10 challenges already, so I'm at 10 wins, 0 losses. Does that make me a great taster? I think the real answer is that the Chivas Extra 13 Rye Cask Selection stands out. It's unique. Doesn't taste like other products. So whether you like it or don't like it compared to other products, you don't get it confused with other products. That should be enough. Foil cap cover, plastic cap, screw cap. Well, now if you buy the Johnnie Walker Gold Label Reserve in the regular bottle, it's a cork cap, but this little glass bottle here, 50 milliliter, is a aluminum cap. Aluminum cap. I might have to add a little more. I'm trying not to waste these because I want to save them. I want to drink it and still have it. I want to eat my cake and then have it. I want to eat my cake and have it too. I want to eat it, and at the same time, it doesn't disappear. And it's like a perpetual motion machine. It just keeps returning. Well, that's not reality, is it? They're both kind of, yeah, pretty deep gold. I think the Gold Label Reserve is a little deeper gold. Not much. It is a little darker by a shade, half a shade. Put some light on the subject here. So Diageo, the world's largest liquor company, because of all these mergers, Guinness basically merged with all these other people and became Diageo. And I've had people make comments, don't you think Guinness was better before they got bought out by Diageo? I said, Guinness is Diageo. They just kept buying other people out. and they changed their umbrella company to Diageo instead of calling it Guinness. So Guinness owns itself, okay? It's just they have a name for their umbrella company. It's like Pepsi owns Pepsi, but their umbrella company is called PepsiCo, Pepsi Company, okay? So they didn't get bought out. They did the buying. No, you don't buy me out. I buy you out, okay? So Herbie says, hi, hello to you, Herbie, in India. Now, I don't know if Johnnie Walker is popular in India, but I think it probably is. And I get the impression that Chivas Regal is popular in India, but you live there. I don't. You could probably comment on that. I know Scotch is probably the Scotch or Scotch style whiskey, because in India they have their own distilleries and they kind of follow the Scotch style format, like in Japan, and that's probably very popular there. Bourbon, I don't know about that. Bourbon is not super popular in England. That's the impression I get. They kind of like it, but they're not really into it. And they pronounce it bourbon. Bourbon. I'm going to drink some bourbon. I'll say, what in the what? All right. But the British English would say, you don't know how to pronounce things. You say bourbon, car, the bar. We went out to the bar. We do say that because the letter R makes a sound like right? It's a bar. It's not a ba. A ba is what a sheep says. Ba. It's a bar. Simple as that. It's a beer. Has an R at the end. Beer. In Australia, they call it a beet. I'm going to drink a beet. A beet. I'll say a beet. That's something you get. That makes honey. I'm not saying America is the capital of the English language. I never said that. I say it should be the capital of the English language. Okay, that's the difference. Being in one. Okay, all right. I'm going to get a world law passed that every country has to spell flavor and color with only a O and no U. COLOR and FLAVOR. And if you violate that, you'll go to prison. Because that is what diversity is all about. And as a comic, in all seriousness, I think these are both really good. And I can't see paying the extra buku money for the gold label reserve. Although I love the gold label reserve. I work with the gold label reserve. Senator, you're no gold label reserve. There is a slight smokiness, but it's so minimal. The focus is honey, 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 honey. Like Abba would say, honey, honey. Herbie says your beer reviews are good. Thank you. I hope my whiskey reviews are good too. And the occasional wine. And liqueur. All right. Haha, got it. And I'm going to tell you why. There's a sharpness about the Chivas Regal. Can't even reach my arm over there to point. Chivas Regal 13-year age Rye Cask Selection. I don't really know how to describe it. It's a sharpness in the flavor, not a harshness. It's not rough. It's a smooth product, but there's a sharpness about it. Does that come from the rye casks? I would assume it does. I don't think they can add flavor into Scotch whiskey, but also on the other hand, I was reading their website, the government of the United Kingdom, Scotch regulations, and I didn't see anything explicitly forbidding it. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't mention it. It didn't say you could add flavoring, but I didn't read anything that said no flavoring allowed. So it might be one of those things where you don't ask, they don't tell. Like, don't ask, don't tell. Canada is explicit. It says with natural flavors. Now, natural flavors. Try putting in artificial flavoring, you're going to have a problem. Coloring, yes. Caramel color, yes. Ireland, yes. Scotland, yes. It's allowed. It's not required, but it's allowed. America, yes, you can add caramel coloring, unless it's straight bourbon, in which case you cannot, and straight rye or any straight whiskey. No, no, no coloring allowed, no flavoring allowed, in fact. So you say, I want to buy a bourbon whiskey and I want to buy a whiskey, period. I want to make sure it's got no flavoring added. Well, either it's going to explicitly say that on the bottle, or secondly, you can buy a straight bourbon or straight rye, doesn't really matter. Or, like I said, straight wheat whiskey and so forth, and it cannot have coloring or flavor in it. So you'll be on the safe side there. Now, if it's not straight bourbon, well, you say, well, I bought this Kentucky Gentleman blended bourbon. What about that? Well, you know what the answer is. And if it just says rye whiskey, no straight, just rye whiskey, ding, 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 ding. Go read your regulations. They're allowed to add flavoring, and they don't have to tell you about it. So ultimately, does it really matter? In my opinion, no, because if it tastes good, that's fine. If they added natural vanilla flavoring and it tastes good, I don't care. Still, it's kind of like cheating, but this tastes like honey and a little smoke. It's a typical, stereotypical Johnnie Walker product. Johnnie Walker does seem to have a house style. And does Diageo interfere in their operations? I don't get that impression. I think they pretty much run their operations independently. But, as long as the money's rolling in. Now, if things start slipping, then Diageo is going to start dipping. You know what I mean? They're going to start dipping into their business. What's the problem? That's common. Or they'll just sell it. You know how that works. Things start slipping. They sell the brand. There's Sazerac lining up to buy it. Because they like to do that, buy brands that maybe aren't performing as well as they could, and they snap it up. Which they were delighted to do with Canadian Mist. But they didn't buy the distillery, strangely. They bought Canadian Mist, the brand, the recipe, the rights, but they didn't buy the distillery. So there's a Canadian Mist distillery, which makes Canadian Mist whiskey, but they don't own it. It's owned by a different company. It's funny, huh? All right. Gold Label Reserve. Quite obviously Gold Label Reserve. There you go. So that's 11 wins, 0 losses. So is there something special about the Chivas Regal Rye Cask Selection? Yes. May not be to your liking. You may not enjoy it at all. You might love it like I do. But I bet you won't say it's ordinary or tastes like everything else. No, 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 no. Now I did it once or twice. That could have been a fluke. You say, "Wow, you just got it right." It was a coincidence. True, that could happen. But at 11 challenges, we've done 11 challenges. That's a pattern. And the pattern shows very definitively that you're not going to confuse it with other whiskeys. So that is a high mark for the Chivas Regal American Rye Cask Selection. Now, age 13 years. Now, the problem could be finding it. Do they have a locator tool on the website? I don't recall seeing that. But all you got to do is find out who distributes Chivas in your neighborhood, your town. Call them up. They'll tell you. That's easy to do. I've called distilleries. I've called distributors so many times. They don't mind. They say, "Oh, let me check. I got to transfer your call to Andy. He handles that. Whatever they do." And then they'll say, "Oh, let me see. Oh no, it's not sold in this. It used to be, but something happened. We don't have it anymore." They just tell you. They don't mind. And a lot of times I'll ask, "Are you a grocery store or something?" "No, I'm just somebody that is interested in whiskey." "Oh, okay." One time they asked me if I was from the news. So the news, I guess they did reports on it. But anyway, Gold Label Reserve, yeah, you could pretty much find that all around. Walmart's got it. Thurns has it. Winn-Dixie probably has it. It's common, so it's not rare. It's not hard to find. It just costs a lot. So you better be ready to pay $70 after you pay tax. You'll pay $70. Is it worth $70? Well, I guess, but why would you want to do that when you could buy this one for 40? You're saving almost $30, and you're not getting a worse product. I wouldn't say it's better, but it's definitely not worse. Something to think about. All right. Well, thank you, Chivas Brothers, for your most interesting product. And thanks to Diageo, Johnnie Walker, for another very interesting product. And thanks to those two stores for letting me buy them for cheap. Oh, so very cheap. All right, y'all take care. See you soon, God willing.